Minions, I'm here for a special reason. You know, usually I don't talk about news or the happenings, you know, but I think I've been summoned because this is something that I can definitely yap about, which is why I'm wearing my Drew McIntyre sweater, because I feel like he's going to give me the power of the yap. Rhea Ripley posted this on X saying women's wrestling fans. So she generalizes a women's wrestling fan and says women deserve better, meaning that this is what they regurgitate, meaning that this is what they tweet out. But then in the same breath, they're also saying she's sleeping with her boss. That's why she's where she is. She should retire. She doesn't deserve it. She's handed everything and never worked for anything. I hope she gets injured. And then she ends it by cooking the IWC, saying, you guys are the real reason it's so difficult to be taken seriously as a women's wrestler. If you put as much effort into your own miserable lives as you put into degrading successful women, then maybe you would accomplish something yourself. Whether you're a dude or a girl, there's going to be shitty people on both sides, right? Supporting women doesn't mean that you're blindly supporting the entirety of the women's species. It just means that you're treating them equally. Basically, everything you do with the men, you do with the women. When a dude gets hate, it's mostly just because of their in-ring, their mic skills, their character. When women get hate, not only are you just talking about their entire work, you're also talking about their looks. You're talking about the way they speak. You start making and creating these weird ass lies. Oh, it's probably because she's sleeping with the boss and that's why she's where she's at. Totally negating the years of work they put in to be in that position. This is why women are always being outspoken, and this is why women are just saying, hey, we want to be treated equally. If you don't like me, tell me it's because my content freaking sucks. Tell me it's because you don't like my opinions. I don't need to hear about what your opinion is on the way I look, on the way I speak. Listen, if you say, I don't really like her content because she's always yelling and she's loud, that's fine. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about how I am supposed to be soft-spoken because I am a woman and men want to hear me speak like this in a very calming and soothing way. No, you go yourself. I get it all the damn time. People are always talking about the way I talk, saying, why does she talk like a dude? That doesn't matter. I'm a person. If I talk like a dude, you support dudes, right? So if I talk like a dude, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. I feel like people get lost with the saying, we support women, because just because you support one woman, that does not mean that you support women. That means that you support the one woman that fits into your sick little narrative of what a woman should be, or whatever certain traits that you think a woman should have. That's the only one woman that you support. And when that one woman doesn't get certain opportunities and other women do, you start bashing the other women because you're like, well, why would they get that? Oh, they're probably sleeping with the boss, or this person just shows off their body and that's where they're getting these opportunities. You could ride for your favorites. That doesn't mean you have to put other people down. I'm sick of people putting other people down, especially when it comes to women. You always have to put someone else down. I have been told, I like your content, you're not like so-and-so names a woman, and I'm like, don't do that. You're not gonna put them down to uplift my content. Let me quickly get this out the way because it was so damn funny and ironic, and it just proves what I'm freaking talking about. I collaborated with a friend of mine in this space. I posted it under my channel. It was my video that I recorded, that I hosted, and I posted it under my channel, but I collaborated with the individual. We were having a discussion about women in the wrestling space, and someone comments underneath that post saying, yeah, we support so-and-so. We don't hate women here. And then a couple of my shooters were like, damn, Minnie just caught a stray, so you don't support Minnie? And they were like, oh, I totally forgot to mention her. Yes, we do support her. We support her and her. And then I clicked on their page. Not only were they not following me, which is whatever, I went on their X and I looked at their replies, because that's how you can kind of see who people are. I looked at their replies and they were responding to some of my tweets that I was complaining about. One of them was like the IWC, but the other one was just like, dude, women get it hard, especially within the wrestling content creation space, because we get talked about our looks and the way we talk and just basically our physical traits. That was the damn tweet. This is what the video is about as well. And they were trying to argue with me about that. You can't fool me. People will support just one woman, max 3 women, and say, I support women, but then hate on every single other woman. The crazy part about this business is people are going to get certain opportunities over other people. And and we get that. That's something in wrestling that unfortunately is a part of the game. But if one of my favorite wrestlers doesn't get that opportunity but somebody else does, I'm not going to like wish them harm. I'm not going to wish that they get injured or create all these dumb little narratives so people can turn their backs against that person. That's not a way to support your favorite wrestler. That's not a way to support women's wrestling. You're putting other women down to uplift certain women. You're criticizing their ring gear. You're criticizing what their character is. And if you just put that energy to start a movement for them on X, I think you would do a better job with getting your favorite to maybe be a part of the main event, to get a title. Look at Zelina Vega. She just got her first title after how damn long, and she has a whole army on X rooting for her all the way. I'm a Zelina Vega shooter too, okay? So I was a part of that movement, and I was really upset when she didn't get the title and Lyra did, but I never once attacked Lyra. I was just talking about booking in general. I feel like the concept of having discussions based on how someone is booked or criticizing the way that the company is taking their character, the way the company is taking a storyline, I think that's all fine and dandy, but for some reason that gets lost into all of this like cloud of stupidity, where then it just becomes like a cesspool of AI images and lies that are just being created, and it's all to fit your narrative. You're doing all of this to fit your own little dumb narrative. So tired of like the constant back and forth. And shout out to Biggie, because even Biggie was talking about how women, when they're 37, 38, 39, 40, they're being treated differently than the men who are main eventing WrestleMania and Backlash, who are holding the title, are a lot older or maybe the same age as them, but they don't get the same amount of hate that the women do. Dude, I'm looking at these comments and look at this idiot. More whining and crying from women wrestlers that are supposedly as tough as men. Yeah, dog, because we got dumb dudes like that on the internet. But aren't you supposed to be as strong as men? Don't you guys want to be treated equally? Yeah, that means your dumb little incel mind. Get out of my comments, get out of her comments, get out of women's comments trying to prove that you're this like big boy. Listen, me complaining and talking about my real life experiences isn't taken away from men. I'm not taking away from your hardships. I'm not taking away from anything that you have to experience that is also difficult. And if you need to talk to somebody, please talk to somebody. Go to a therapist. If you need to vent on X about something that is unjustly happening, then yes, you should talk about it. My experiences and what I'm complaining does not take away from your experiences. Anyways, that is it for me. Let me know down in your comments about whatever.